All right, people, thanks for tuning in. Save America, vote Tulsi Gabbard. Quick housekeeping note. I gave out my PayPal email address, and my account has been suspended. My email account. It's a gmx.com email, and it was suspended. Why? Because they said there was suspicious activity. And it has not been re-established. So, anyway, just throwing that out there. So, not going to give out that email, at least for the time being. Only other method right now to help me out is Patreon. The top part of the page on the banner with Tulsi, there's a little Patreon logo. This channel shares the Patreon address with my Real Music Observer channel, which is my music channel. But the money, if you decide to donate, goes to me. So I'd appreciate that a lot. Okay, so this article from the Intelligencer, written by Keri Holly. And she writes about Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard has a very strange childhood. Yeah, so Keri Holly. Boy, she's a great writer. Even in the opening paragraph. And this picture, by the way, is like sort of an airbrushed reality picture of Tulsi. The look just makes her... Well, it's the way they touch the photo up, or they use, I would say, some type of software to make the photo look less attractive. If Tulsi Gabbard were Amy Klobuchar, she'd be winning the primary right now. Because, or if Tulsi Gabbard had the same policy positions as Elizabeth Warren, she'd be winning the primary. Because nobody ever talks about the fact that she's a very attractive woman. Nobody ever talks about it. When Obama ran for president, remember, he was a rock star. He was this handsome, young African-American man who he was making the women swoon and faint at his rallies. By the way, Tulsi Gabbard is not driven by celebrity the way Obama was. So, but if you're, if you have two eyeballs that are functioning, you'll notice that Tulsi is an attractive woman, even though they doctored this picture, I think, to make her not look as attractive. I don't know. I don't like the way this came out. So, in any event, they write here, or this woman writes, I believe that Keri Holly is a woman. If not, it could be a man. I do not care. This is a hit piece, and it's the worst hit piece I've ever read about Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard had a very strange childhood. Okay, thank you. Which may explain why she's out of place in today's Democratic Party and her long-shot 2020 candidacy. Okay, so is there anything wrong with her being out of place in today's Democratic Party? Today's Democratic Party is supposed to be the party of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Mayor Pete, Beto O'Rourke, and everybody's candidate of the month right now, Elizabeth Warren. Okay? They take a long time writing about her religious values and views here. I'm going to just skip over this. I just find it really tedious. Second paragraph, and then we get to the third paragraph where things really start to get a little bit weird. We share a deep love, Tulsi says to a standing room only crowd of 200. She talks about love a lot, in a way that might have provoked eye rolls pre-Trump, but now just sounds appealingly weird. How is love weird? Can someone explain to me how the spirit of aloha is weird, because in politics, see, Trump, by the way, does not emote anything. Okay, this is one thing that a lot of people just couldn't take with Trump, is that he is this brash steamroller, and he doesn't seem to have any kind of connection with anybody. People say, oh, if you met him, you'd understand how genuine he is. I've heard he's the same in person as he is, at a rally, which he wants to win. He'll win at any cost, and he'll use any way he can to win. And it doesn't matter, for instance, if we declare another endless regime change war. So anyway, this article, by the way, it's going to be tough for me not to talk a lot. So I apologize. And yes, my brain I'm running scatterbrain right now with this, because there's so much. So let's keep reading. A Hindu veteran. Okay, just that. So have you ever heard an article where the writer says, a Christian veteran? Have you ever heard that? A Jewish veteran. Have you ever heard that? But here, the Hinduism, they keep pushing. Well, she's Hindu. She's Hindu. All the Hindu nationalists like her. I'm not even connecting with this idea that somehow her religion has inspired people to go out and vote for her. I don't see that. So anyway, a Hindu veteran and millennial congresswoman of Samoan descent, hailing from Hawaii, she brings together disparate constituencies. You could say she's a one-woman melting pot, but no. She brings in disparate constituencies, most notably Bernie Sanders fans, who love that she resigned from the Democratic National Committee to endorse him in 2016, but also libertarians who appreciate her non-interventionalism. Okay. Indian Americans, because again, their only concern is that she's a Hindu. Veterans attracted to her credibility on issues of war and peace. And here's the sentence that could make your head explode. Racists. Yes, the person here wrote the word racist and put an S on it, who interpret various statements she has made to be promising indications of Islamophobia. Huh? What? You mean the woman who defended Ilhan Omar when she made her so-called anti-Semitic statement? That woman, Tulsi Gabbard, promising indications of Islamophobia. I don't know. You have to be a lying shill to say something that outrageous. And that angers me because, again, folks, remember what I keep saying? We can't go through. There's a tunnel, and there's a D on it for Democrat, and you got to go through that tunnel, and you got to come out the other side. And there are all these roadblocks and obstacles, and the tunnel might collapse in on you. You got to go around. You see this mound of BS, and you got to go around it. You don't go through it, you go around. I'm going to keep saying it. Sorry, I know there are people that are tired of it. Which means what? Third way, third party, third way. And I don't care if you lose, because you're going to lose anyway, because you're not going to get through that tunnel. All right, here's a great line. That she is polling at 1%, sandwiched between Andrew Yang and Amy Klobuchar. Yes, because we know exactly where in the polling precisely she lands right now. Another whole load of BS. And again, suggests that bringing together these constituencies is not nearly enough. But the intensity of emotion she provokes on all sides, including the racists. She's got the racists really motivated. That's what this says. Wow. It's a microphone is here in case you didn't ever see this mic. Quality microphone. Not really, but not enough bass. I need more bass. So, when this group called 835 or 538, whatever they're called, asked 60 Democrat Party activists whom they didn't want to win, Tulsi Gabbard came in first out of 17 candidates. What? How? Okay, so this outfit called 538 went around and asked 60 Democratic Party activists whom they didn't want to win. And Tulsi finished first. Okay, a poll she used to rile up. I'm riled up now. I'll tell you what, reading this, I'm really riled up now. Tulsi didn't need to rile me. This thing has riled me up. A poll she used to rile up her own intensely motivated supporters who tend to identify proudly as anti-establishment outsiders. We're outsiders. We're not normal. We're weird. This love thing is weird. There's a bunch of racists. Lots of Islamophobia. It's all here. Can't you feel when Tulsi walks in the room, all that love and aloha stuff? So this person here has literally made an alternate reality that we're supposed to bathe ourselves in. Oh, the alternate reality of this, and how I feel so much different now about Tulsi. Thank you. Thank you. What's her name? What's this lady's name again? Keri Holly. Thank you, Keri Holly. Thank you so much. You've created the alternate reality we so much needed because we were all starting to like Tulsi Gabbard too much. But it gets even better here. In May, Joe Rogan, whose podcast is listened to millions of times each month by MMA fans. Yeah, not just MMA fans, but actually everybody. Because Joe Rogan is kind of branched out. He doesn't just talk about mixed martial arts all the time. Stoner Bros. Stoner Bros. They're a class of people. Stoner Bros. Okay. So it's MMA fans, Stoner Bros, and self-styled free thinkers. Tulsi Gabbard's my girl, he said. I'm voting for her. I decided. I like her. I met her in person. F it. Again, trying to keep the show somewhat family friendly. On the campaign trail, Gabbard talks frequently about the actual material costs of forever war, trillions of dollars wasted, lives pointlessly lost. Here's the kicker, which is odd. Because this is a campaign for votes, and foreign policy speeches are not what voters want. Now I'm going to catch them in a lie here. Okay? So, hey, Nico House, Jamal Thomas, Jordan over at Status Quo, all you guys who are way better at me, because I'm just reading this and just making all of these observations. Here's where, I think this is where we can dig into a piece of fiction here, other than the racist support and so forth, which was one person or something that might be a racist that we know of. All right, so here's where the lie is coming up. Though we are 18 years deep in an unwinnable war in Afghanistan and currently engaged in Iraq, Syria, Yemen, and Libya, doesn't that just make the case right there for Tulsi? The crowd in Fairfield is waiting for her to finish yammering about war. Let me read this again. The crowd in Fairfield is waiting for her to finish yammering about war and get to lines about Medicare for all and climate change, which she does, eventually. At which point they stop politely nodding and rise from their chairs to applaud. Now, maybe, and this would take some investigative journalism here, maybe Tulsi went out of order in this particular speech. Maybe she talked about the war stuff first. typically she talks about all the issues other than regime change, war, and she typically saves the war stuff as her final point, as her closing argument. So this person claims that she's yammering about war, and people are just going, yeah, we don't really care. Just get to the point. Get to the Medicare for all. Get to the climate change. And then, we'll applaud for you then, but this war stuff, nobody cares. And that's, by the way, this is their argument. Nobody cares about endless wars. War, like I said, we need to make anti-war cool again. Now, I think this is a lie because Tulsi Gabbard typically, and I could be wrong, Tulsi Gabbard saves her anti-war stuff for the end because she relates it to everything that came before it. And she wraps it up in a neat little bow. And they go on. They continue to go on. Many have called Tulsi cold and lacking in charisma and not particularly spontaneous. She is not cold. She can be spontaneous in the right setting, exude charisma if engaged on the right subject. What she is, take it from someone with the same emotional profile, is remote. I don't think she's remote. In interview after interview, she gives the impression of having anti-establishment convictions just beyond the reach of articulation, as if she had carried instructions into battle and lost them. Okay, I cannot relate to this anymore. I want to go down, and I mean that I can't even relate to any of these premises. Okay, look how long this is. It goes on and on and on. It just kept going and going. Of course, they go into her father's belief system, and they spend literally all, and they're even quoting Mika Brzezinski about Assad. And it just this is like the greatest hits of the, and it keeps going. Look how long this is. Unbelievable. I've never seen, and then there's another article. What is Tulsi Gabbard fighting for? 128 comments. Let's sample some of the comments before I sign off here. And you got to go way down to get to comments on this, I believe. Where did the article end? I mean, this is crazy. Look at all this stuff prior to the comments section. Articles. Please click on one of these articles. Please don't leave a comment. Please don't leave a comment. Please click on... Wow. I'm trying to find where the comments begin. Oh, sign in to comment. Sign in to comment. I don't think it's going to let me sign in. No, it's no, let me see. Let me try it here. Let me see. I think I'm over at Facebook now, and that's not going to work for me. Oh, wait. All right, so I'm signed in. I want to just read a couple of comments. I apologize for all of the scrolling here. And again, I think they lied. I really do believe they lied about... there was... The first time I landed on this page, I was able to see the comments. But apparently, you can't comment on it, even though it says it's got 130 comments. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I clicked on the little box here and it worked. All right, so let's read a few of these. I apologize for the delay of that. The writer of this hit piece is agitated because Tulsi does not regurgitate party lines and thinks for herself. So what if her policies and legislative interests are disparate? Why should she vote the same way as others? Also, blatant Hindu phobia throughout. Tulsi is a Hindu. Get over it. I've noticed the media feels no concern over attacking Hindus in subtle and not so subtle ways, whereas its darling Islam must be touched with kid gloves. Reading through the comments section, it is heartwarming that most folks are not buying this BS. Tulsi 2020. This article is a total piece of garbage which tries to look unbiased, but which is meant to smear Tulsi Gabbard. So what control does a child have over her environment as a child? The fact that Tulsi not only overcame this, but turned out to be the courageous and admirable person she is now, is even more testimony to her strength of character and integrity. Wonder how much this author got paid for backstabbing Tulsi. A lot, I would suspect, considering the establishment is determined to stop her. Wow. And I know there are probably some really positive comments about the article, but this is a hit piece, folks, and I've just found the worst piece of garbage I've ever read about Tulsi Gabbard. And again, just to wrap up here, because we're way overdue, it's a very lengthy video so far, we have to go around. We have to go around this. We have to set up our own way to communicate with one another, our own way to support candidates, our own way to utilize free speech and to get to the truth. Otherwise, we're toast. And if we don't go around this election cycle, we're going to get another establishment approved hack who's going to take our country really pretty much in the same direction it's going now. So if you like Donald Trump, you may get a different figurehead. Or let me say this, if you like the way things are going under Trump, you may get another figurehead which just takes the wheel, makes a few changes as far as who's in the bus, but takes the wheel and drives it basically in the same direction, which means endless wars, which means no really big social change, which means no big policies being enacted. And you can thank writers like Keri Holly for that. I'm all done. See you soon.